Hello. This video will provide step-by-step instructions for creating customized hazard recognition safety training using the SMSVC Hazard 360 Builder. Let's get started. First, it's important to note that there are actually two programs, Builder and Player. Builder is meant for instructors to create 360-degree training content. Player is meant for the trainees to use that training. So let's take a look at Builder first. When you first start Builder, you'll see this interface. There will be some brief instructions. Essentially, we're going to follow the menu across the top. So first, we're going to add a video. The Builder comes with a sample video that you can use, or you can use your own. This is equirectangular 360-degree video. When you load your video, you should see this. For the most part, looped video works really well. So rather than have a very long video showing lots of action, it's good to find a short snip of video, 5 or 10 seconds long, where there's not a lot of action and you can highlight things. So once here, we can now add a clickable. So a clickable is this button that you can drag around and place over top of objects. So let's go ahead and place it over top of this handrail. You can resize it to fit whatever you need. So we'll kind of make it a vertical layout. And let's start filling in our information. So this, we'll call it a handrail. What type of hazards? In this case, this is a caught in between hazard, and we'll give some description of why. So in this case, the handrail can become a pinch point when rail cars are entering or leaving the area. And I think we actually have pinch point as one of our options. You can also add your own custom types of hazards. For us, we'll select pinch point. And now we can either add additional information or a quiz. So let's go ahead and add a quiz. We'll just ask simply, how can we mitigate this hazard? You can ask whatever you like. And let's say, stay clear when car is moving. And then put in some wrong answers. The first answer is correct. The other two are meant to be incorrect. Let's say, suck in that gut. Or climb between the rail. Alright, so they must answer correctly to move on to the next panel. So we could either add another quiz or some additional information. We'll go ahead and give some follow-up info. And we'll just say something like, that's right. Always stay clear of the area between the handrail and rail car when the car is moving. We could add additional panels or quizzes, and we can also change the order that they'll appear with these buttons at the bottom. Let's go ahead and leave it like that. Let's go ahead and add one more clickable. You'll see it places a new button. You can left click and drag to move this, and I should also note to look around, you right click and drag. So right click to look anywhere. And I'm not sure what this particular box is, but we'll go ahead and say that that's a hazard. We'll call it a box. And we'll just fill in some temporary stuff. Well, it's obviously not a crane. I'm just going to rapidly fill in some info just so we can get another example. We'll call it A, B, and C. Some additional information. All right. And finally, the last thing, you can add as many hazards as you like, and you can also specify the starting position. So let's say we want the user to start looking this direction. Let's go up here and say set initial view. All right. So now we can test what this will look like for the trainee by going up to player mode. This is what they'll see. They'll get this little welcome text telling them that they need to find pinch point hazards. And so anywhere where we've added a label, something will pop up. So we have the handrail there, we have the box here. And so the box is not a pinch point. So we'll have to keep on looking until we find all the pinch points in the scene. Since we only added one, there's only one to find. And now we go through what we saw. So obviously, we don't just want to suck in that gut. We get a little buzz letting us know that's the wrong answer. Also wrong answer, also wrong spelling. And there, if we get the correct answer, it'll move on. Here's that follow-up information. If we added more quizzes or more information, they would continue after here. All right, so we finished all the pinch points since we only had one. Now we're moving on to dropped or falling objects because that's what we set this one as. And not quite as interesting. The correct answer is always that first one, but when they display for the trainee, these are going to be randomized. So it's not just the first answer, these will always be randomized. All right, so let's say we're happy with this. We can exit the player. All right, and now we're back in that build mode. If we want to save, we can go ahead and do File, Save Scenario As, and we'll give this a name. It's going to automatically do this JSON extension. Not too important, just give it some name. So for us, we'll call it sample and save. All right. We can, of course, edit. So let's say we don't like the way that is, or where the placement, or if we want to add more or delete some. Let's say if we don't like that box at all, we can go into delete mode by clicking this, click the box, and it'll remove that from our training. Let's go ahead and save that once more. We can just overwrite. There's our sample. Replace it. All right. And now we're done building. So now we're ready to deploy that. So what you would do is you would have your trainee run just this player. And so we can either set this up on a specific machine just for the player, or you could hide the builder so they don't have access to that. So when we run player, it's going to look similar to the builder, have some little bit different instructions, and we'll open the scenario. So the idea here is you can have multiple different types of training for different sites at your facility. So there's our sample that we had saved. All right, and now we got to go through the training. And so you can see the same training that we did in that test. Again, it's randomized, so stay clear while the car is moving. Good job. Right. Once you're complete, you can either replay or exit. So that's a quick overview of how to use the builder and the player. We'll continue to add functionality and look forward to hearing feedback.